Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Now, with our second topic, we're discussing the Egyptian-Sudanese relations in light of the visit by Minister of International Cooperation, Minister Rania Al-Mashat, to the headquarters of the Egyptian Investment Bank, EIB, and the European Union's financial arm and the Climate Bank in Luxembourg. Well, to shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to have with us over the phone His Excellency Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi, the Secretary General of the Investors Union and former Assistant Foreign Minister. Good morning, Your Excellency.
Good morning. How are you?
How are you, sir? Well, Your Excellency, how did you see the visit by the Minister Rania Al-Mashat and to share the opportunities between Egypt and the European Union?
As you will know, the Ministry of International Cooperation is the focal point representing Egypt in all the relation with the donors and with those who are cooperating with us for the development assistance. And if it comes to the bank, we are the largest beneficiary of the bank loan and grants out of Europe. And I am so happy to tell you that Egypt is the largest beneficiary of the bank and the most important and the most honest implementing whatever we agree upon. And I have seen before the head of this bank talking to our Minister of Foreign Affairs in Cairo, saying that he is jealous. I am jealous that Egypt is not getting enough loans from our bank.
Yes.
And once they blame me because we get a loan from other sources. So why they are doing this? Because after all, they are seeking story of success. They want their money to be used in the proper goals and the proper projects. So I hope this visit and this meeting will bring more and more cooperation between Egypt and one of its most important partners in the development assistance.
Yes. So, Your Excellency, Ambassador Bayoumi, to what extent does the visit promote sustainable development and climate action in a way that stimulates economic growth?
This is another side of a story of success. You know that we have, since long time, in 1976, we concluded agreement of cooperation with European Union. In 2004, we signed another agreement, which is much more serious, which is the association agreement. It is very dear to me because I was the Egyptian negotiator for it. And it makes Egypt's exports expanded 4 times comparison to when the day we started this agreement. It makes European exports to Egypt expanded by 3 times also. And Europe now is our main trade partner, main trade investor, main investor in Egypt. And this is a story which we are proud of, that it is a source of success of our foreign policy.
Yes. So to what extent is the cooperation between EIB and Egypt is successful, being the bank's largest operational area outside the EU and a major client or recipient of the bank's private sector financing?
As you will know, the bank is the front runner for whatever comes to finance. When we borrow through the bank. When we get the grants of the European Union, it comes through the bank. And many flow, much quantity of the flow of money from Europe coming to Egypt is in a sort of grants or direct investment. So the bank is playing this role there in order to maintain good practices of whatever money comes from Europe.
Yes, so how can the discussions between the two sides or negotiations would pave the way for more collaboration on impactful investments in, for example, clean energy, sustainable transport, water across Egypt, particularly through the platform, and also upcoming EU-Egypt strategic and comprehensive partnership?
Very important, because the personal touch is giving a good idea to each party what the other party is aiming at. Now our minister is telling the head of the bank about our aims, about our projects, what we want in general, what is possible, what is not possible, and then we are listening, and we have a good listener here in the discussion to know what the bank is aiming at, how much we can make use of the facilities of the bank. So the personal touch here is very important. This is what we call the economic diplomacy.
Yes. Moving to another front, which is the Egyptian-African relations, and especially the Egyptian-Sudanese-Sudani relations. How do you see Egypt's pivotal role in Africa in achieving peace, security, and stability, and how were to enhance relations between Egypt and the African neighbors as Sudan?
I am Sudanese by myself. I lived in my early years of my life in the school, saluting the flag of Egypt and Sudan Kingdom, then the flag of Egypt and Sudan Republic up till the 60s. And the chairman of our student union in Alexandria University was a Sudanese, Muhammad Abdul Aziz. Sudan is very dear to us. It's part of us. You will know that more than 5 million Sudanese are living in Egypt without considering them refugees or anything like that. Many of them are quite well off, and they build their houses and they live as if they are Egyptians, and they are Egyptians. So, unfortunately, Sudan separates itself from Egypt. Even the Sudan is divided in two countries, and each one of them is not in a very good condition because there are the sort of the tribes and the parties and the families which is dividing the country. Now we have the army, which is a very important element of the Sudanese unity. It is even the army is divided among itself. So I look to this visit very important because both sides, they need a sort of arbitrator of an old friend and an old brother like Egypt in order to bring them back to unity and to one Sudan, inshallah.
Yes, so Your Excellency, how do you see Egypt's expansion in the strategic relations between Egypt and Sudan, and also South Sudan, as a motivation of joint projects and also especially in the field of investment?
We are keen to invest in Africa, and my lesson I got serving in Africa, that if you want to enlarge trade in Africa, you have to start investing in Africa, because many of our imports, up till 70% of what we are importing is not produced neither in the Arab world or the African countries.
Yes.
So we can start this by investing in Africa, and I have witnessed many ways when we try to plant what we need of cereals and wheat in some African countries. Sudan can be a very good partner to plant whatever we need from our agricultural sector. Mind you that we have a gap in food and agriculture in the Arab world, exceeding now $50 billion every year.
Yes.
So
Yes.
this is one side of the investment. I think we can invest not huge sum of money, but small and tiny projects would make a big difference in many African countries, especially in Sudan, which is the closest African and Arab country to us.
Yes, I thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your valuable information, Your Excellency Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Thank you very much for joining us over the phone. Well, ladies and gentlemen, with this we come to the end of this episode of our program, The Breakfast Show. For more news, follow us on www.9international.net. My name is Alan Mukhtar. Thank you for watching.